Good morning. I'm going to call to order this meeting of the Monroe County Board of Commissioners. It is Wednesday, April 6th. I will note for the record that all three commissioners are present at the NetU Hill Room, and we will begin with our public statement. We, the Monroe County Board of Commissioners, renew our commitment to welcome and protect the rights of all people, regardless of age, race, color, creed, disability, sexual orientation, gender identity, marital status, economic status, and national origin. And we affirm the right of every person to live peacefully and without fear. And we will fight and resist at every step discrimination and harmful policies, whatever their source. We also stand in support of our county's public school systems, both RBB and MCCSC. And with that, we will begin with our department updates. And we have Ms. Caudle here from the Health Department. Good morning.
Good morning. If you have not looked at the revised dashboard on the Indiana Department of Health's webpage, I would encourage you to do so. There is lots of information, although it is very different from what we're used to. So it can take a little bit to sort through it. We're still trying to do that ourselves, but it is full of information. So I would encourage anybody watching that likes to look at that data to pay attention to the new dashboard. The virus is still circulating. We do still see cases reported of COVID-19, although our COVID hospital census does continue to drop, and cases and deaths continue to drop as well. In fact, the 7-day average for deaths by county in Indiana are all at 0. Our community level remains low, and all of Indiana is in that low community level. BA2 variant is the dominant strain in the US. There are pockets of the US that are seeing higher rates and some areas that are seeing lower rates. Indiana, for example, is right around 30%. The Indiana Department of Health also has launched a new resource page. It's at covid.gov. So www.covid.gov, and you can find information about guidance on masks or vaccines, treatment, testing information. All of that is located there at that new link. So we encourage people to use that if they need to. In terms of vaccinations, we are doing spring school clinics, and that is really kind of catch-up clinics, not just talking about COVID, but any school vaccines that children need, maybe they've missed during the pandemic, that they can catch up on those. We also have other outreaches that are going on. We continue to do our homebound program. We have seen an interest recently in vaccine for that second booster dose. That's an optional dose of vaccine. So we are seeing some increase in that. And again, that second booster dose right now is a May. It's just an option for people who are 50 and over or who have underlying health conditions. There are some certain caveats for that. There's a meeting today to discuss this. There is no vote planned. There's no ACIP meeting to take a vote on this plan. So we don't see this becoming a recommendation quickly, but there is a lot of discussion about when and if it should become a recommendation. And the last thing that I want to say is this is National Public Health Week, and I would like to just take a moment to thank all of my colleagues for their public health service, whether they are in another health department, whether they're in our health department, but certainly talking about my colleagues here. During this pandemic, we have continued to provide birth and death certificates, permits for septics and retail food, for waste haulers, swimming pools. We've continued STD follow-up and clinical services while also providing response to the pandemic, including vaccinations. Setting up and decommissioning testing sites or vaccine sites is not quick. It's not as easy as it might sound like it is. And Christina Kemp, our public health emergency preparedness coordinator, has ensured that these needs were met over these past 2 years, along with many other things, including distributing PPE. everyone on our team deserves praise and the thanks for their daily service. So happy Public Health Week. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Public health is such a vital part of what we do, and we cannot thank you and your staff and our board enough for the leadership and the guidance and the compassionate service you've provided, not just since the pandemic, but always, but especially in the pandemic time. So thank you for that. Do my colleagues have any comments or questions? Commissioner Githens?
No, just thank you all to everyone in your department. It's just been, oh, well.
Yeah. Amazing. Commissioner Jones?
I also want to thank you.
Your mic's not on.
Okay. Sorry, I'm still learning these new mics. I also want to thank all of you. It's been amazing to be able to depend on you to have taken so much on and done such a great job with it. And it is good news that things are going in the right direction, and hopefully they'll continue to go that way even more so.
Right. Thank you so much for the update. We appreciate you. All right. Any other departments have an update for us? Raise your hand on the Zoom screen or come up to the podium. All right. Seeing none. We will now turn to public comment. This is public comment for items that are not on our agenda. Each commenter will have a total of 3 minutes available to speak. At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, you will hear a tone. Maybe. And when you hear that tone, you will have 30 seconds to complete your statement. And we'll see if there's anyone here who has public comment to offer. Raise your hand on the Zoom screen or come up to the podium. In that you will. Okay. Seeing none, we'll move on to our next agenda item, please.
Move approval of the minutes from March 30th, 2022.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. Any comments, edits, or corrections?
Not for me.
I have one I'm going to send to Ms. Freeman. It's minor, just not identifier on a speaker. Okay. All those in favor of approving the minutes for March 30th, 2022, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And I'm going to abstain. So the vote carries 201. And our next item, please.
Move approval of accounts payable April 6th, 2022 and payroll April 8th, 2022.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, and we have Ms. Sensenstein here to tell us all about it. Good morning. Thank
Good
you.
morning, commissioners. I will try and do my best to read these numbers as well as Jordan does. The total for AP claims was $1,130,370.88. $265,643.71 were for wheel and surtax distribution for February. $108,870.07 was for American Structure Point for design of the Fullerton Pike Phase 3 for 1/1/22 to 2/28/22, as well as Fullerton Pike Phase 3 land acquisition services for February. $105,359.46 was for Anthem for medical and pharmacy claims for March. The total for payroll was $1,714,702.41. $1,208,708.97 were for direct costs. $505,993.44 were for indirect costs.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that report. Comments, questions, Commissioner Githens?
No.
Commissioner Jones?
I'd just like to say that you handled the numbers beautifully. Thank you.
Kudos. All right, excellent. Thank you for that. Let's see if there's any public comment on this item. Either come up to the podium or raise your hand on the Zoom screen. All right, seeing none, we'll come back to the board for a vote. All those in favor of approving the claims docket, accounts payable April 6th, 2022 and payroll April 8th, 2022, signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries 3-0. I will note for the record that we have received a report from the clerk dated February 2022. And now we will move on to new business, please.
Move approval of Sound Management LLC digital advertising for the 2022 primary election. Fund name election, fund number 1215, in an amount not to exceed $1,500.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second, and we have Ms. Martin here to tell us all about it via Zoom. Good morning.
Good morning, ladies. Let me start off by saying I am not an expert in digital media. If you play a lot of games and things and surf the net a lot, these will pop up as words on the top of your screen. You put your parameters up, you choose what demographics you want to take into effect. And since we want to basically reach out more to our rural areas, we chose zip codes in that area. Like, for example, 47468 and 47408. Those are Unionville, New Unionville, and southeast and west on State Road 45. If they open their cell phone up, their smartphone, they tap on the weather app, then our little display will show up top. In red, white, and blue, it'll say Monroe County, how to vote. I'm giving you an example. That stays up there. And then if they click on it, it brings them to our website where they get more information on voting in Monroe County. We're buying 125,000. They're called 125,000 impressions. So roughly everyone in that area code, those area codes that we've chosen, they have the potential of viewing our ad almost 8 times. And the cost is not to exceed $1,500.
Great, thank you so much. The invoice itself lists a radio station. Is there a reason for that?
No, that's different. The radio station is the ad that actually runs on WDB in Monroe County. That's an ad on the radio. This is basically digital on their iPhones or on their computers.
The invoices from the radio stations, what they're saying.
Oh, I'm not sure that.
I'm sorry, the invoice that came from the radio station, because it's the same business offering 2 different services.
Okay, thank you.
That
Thank
was
you.
confusing. I am sorry.
That's okay. Thank you so much. Commissioner Gissens, comments, questions?
Well, I had actually been in touch with Ms. Martin earlier this week about what all this was. So I really appreciate the fact that she's explained this to the public.
Well, good.
Commissioner Jones?
Yeah, I just want to thank you for going to so much effort to make sure that all voters do know that there's an election coming up and encouraging them to actually get out and vote.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's a great advertising idea, so good work. Let's see if there's any public comments on this item. Either come to the podium in that U Hill or raise your hand on the Zoom screen. All right, seeing none, we'll come back to the board for a vote. All those in favor of approving the contract with Sound Management LLC for digital advertising for the 2022 primary election signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next item, please.
Move approval for the ratification of Indiana Family Health Council Amendment, fund name Futures Clinic, fund number 8126, and a grant amount of $15,000.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. Ms. Cottle, will you tell us all about this one?
Yes, thank you. So we have funds from Indiana Family Health Council for the Futures Family Planning Clinic. And the grant cycle runs April through March. So we often see at the very end of the grant cycle, monies come in as we're trying to, and the Indiana Family Health Council is trying to make sure that everybody has funding available. Title 10 funds just were awarded less than 2 weeks ago. And immediately following that, we received this grant amendment so that we would have Title 10 funds to use to kind of finish out this grant cycle. Any remaining funds will get TANF funds next. And we always talk about that. So the TANF funds are expected to come soon. And if there's any final numbers that weren't covered, then those will be covered by TANF, because TANF is actually an October through September funding period. So it can work well if we're short in some account line that we needed. So this is just to bolster and end on a good note with our family planning clinic for this grant cycle of Title X.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Comments, questions? Commissioner Githens?
No, thanks for the good explanation.
Commissioner Jones?
No, I don't.
This is just a great example of the hard work that our public health department does. So excellent work getting these additional funds. Let's see if there's any public comment on this item. Anyone here in the NetU Hill room or via Zoom, you can raise your hand on the Zoom screen. All right, seeing none, we'll come back to the board for a vote. All those in favor of ratifying the Indiana Family Health Council amendment signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you so much. Right. Next item, please.
Move to approve Nature's Way proposal for county buildings landscaping, fund name County General, fund number 1,000, in an amount of $32,344.20.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second, and we have Mr. Crone joining us via Zoom. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Greg Cron, Monroe County Facilities Manager. I bring to you this morning, it's pretty simple contract with Nature's Way, who has agreed to take on the planting of the flowers and the maintenance to all our flower beds at the courthouse, the health building, the Johnson building, and the Curry building. So this agreement was in two parts. One is for the maintenance agreement, which was the $17,490. That is for maintenance of the beds out throughout the season, including a initial spring cleanup. And the other portion is for the cost of the flowers to plant out through the season to ensure that we have a 3-color rotation through the spring, summer, and fall.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Comments, questions? Commissioner Githens?
I think I'll leave it to my colleague who knows a lot more about these things.
Commissioner Jones?
First of all, I'd like to say that really the selection of plants is not very inspired. It's kind of the typical planting that you find anywhere that's being done by commercial landscapers. And I'm also somewhat concerned about the use of pre-emergent herbicides. I'd like to know the exact name of the one they're using. Even if it's not glycophosphate, that is being replaced by something that's even worse. And I guess I should ask, is it possible to change the contract to not include the pre-emergent herbicide?
Yes, I can make that request to Nature's Way. I'm sure we can, that's open for discussion. Absolutely.
Great.
Thank you.
I'm wondering if it would be possible for Commissioner Jones to lend her great expertise here and maybe have a discussion about the plantings, which may change the cost. So
Yeah.
I wonder if we could, I'm going to go ahead and make a motion that we continue this until next week's meeting, which is the 13th of April.
A second.
We have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor of continuing this item to April 13th meeting signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Crone. Sorry, we've been taking a really hard look at this. So.
Oh, no problem at all. And I'll open that line of communication with Nature's Way and include commissioners so we can get that moving forward.
Excellent. Thank you so much. We appreciate your patience.
No problem.
All right.
Thank you.
Not impatient, but patient. Sorry. All right. Sorry, I had to. We'll go to the next item, please.
Sorry, gotta calm down here.
All
Move
right.
approval of Fox Construction Agreement for Highway Garage Relocation, Fund Name, Geo Bond, Fund Number, multiple, in an amount of $323,190.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, and we have Mr. Cockrell here, and we also have Ms. Ridge here. I think Mr. Cockrell, maybe we could start with you.
Yes, this is the agreement that was a portion of our bid documents. It includes in Article 1 that this agreement includes all drawing specifications and general supplementary and other conditions that are found in those bid documents. This bid was opened last week. We had 2 bidders. Fox Construction was the lowest bidder, and they have done work with us in the past, namely the emergency management building out at the highway. Essentially, what the scope of this work is to revamp the current areas of our highway garage so that we can move more office staff out there. It's essentially, it's taking some of the parts areas and making it into office spaces and redoing some windows and adding parking.
All right, thank you so much. Ms. Ridge, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, actually, we're very excited to get to this point. I spend a lot of time running from building to building. It'll be great to have everybody in one location. Our stormwater services will still be located in the showers building when the renovation is done. Yeah, we're very thrilled. We appreciate you putting it into your bond and moving forward with this.
Yeah, excellent. And just a note that I had is that we don't have a copy of the actual bid contract or the bid list of what's included. We just have the formal state version of the contract. So I don't know if you can.
The type of work that's going to be completed.
Right.
I know that's, it includes some repair work to the existing concrete floors, new windows. They will be doing some electrical, some HVAC work, flooring, the furniture through Fleming, and then we also are doing a parking lot expansion for the additional employees to be relocated.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much for that information. Appreciate it. Comments, questions, Commissioner Giffens?
No.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes, this is certainly something to look forward to. It not only will be much nicer for highway, but it'll give us more space.
Yeah, it's really good. And just, just to note how long this has taken, it's been quite some time since we made the decision to relocate one department, move them to do it in a way that works for everybody. It's not easy to move a department. So I just thought I'd make a note of that. And I appreciate all your hard work on this on top of everything else you do. Additional work, appreciate it.
Like, again, we appreciate you guys thinking of us and putting us all together. And I don't know that I've ever really in 34 years worked in a new office. So it'll be pretty exciting.
Wow,
So
nice. Excellent. All right, let's see if there's any public comment on this item, either here in the Nat U Hill room or via Zoom. You can raise your hand on the Zoom screen. All right, seeing none, we'll come back to the board for a vote. All those in favor of approving the Fox Construction Agreement for Highway Garage relocation signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries 3-0. All right, next item, please.
Move approval of Yasmin L. Stump Law Group PC for Fullerton Pike Phase 3 project. Fund name Fullerton Pike Phase 3, fund number 8169, in an amount to be determined.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. Ms. Ridge, tell us all about it, please.
good morning. So we have used this firm on a couple other projects. It's only on an as-needed basis if we cannot reach negotiations with the property owner for a project. This is for Fullerton Pike Phase 3. And actually, the right-of-way acquisition is going very well. We are over half completed with the acquisition. So at this point, I don't anticipate using the services, but we always have it as a backup in case we need to seek out their assistance.
Thank you so much. Comments, questions, Commissioner Giffens?
No, I've been in touch with Ms. Ridge already about asking questions, so no.
Commissioner Jones?
No, I don't.
All right, excellent. All right, let's see if there's any public comment, either here in the Nat U Hill room or via Zoom. Raise your hand on the Zoom screen. All right, seeing none. We will come back to the board for a vote. All those in favor of approving the Yasmin L. Stump Law Group contract for Fullerton Pike Phase 3 project signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. We don't have any appointments today. And just a few announcements, just a reminder that the next schedule for the blood drive is May 4th from 10 to 3, May 5th from 1 to 6, and that is going to be at Ivy Tech. Emergency Management has updated their website with dates through September, I believe. So you can go to co.monroe.in.us and look at their page on our website for more information. In addition, since this is spring weather, time to be aware of spring weather and storms, just a reminder to residents to utilize our resident alert system. Just go to co.monroe.in.us and click on the megaphone and sign up for this free service, which will help keep you and your family safe. We do have some openings on boards and commissions. For example, we have an opening on the Board of Zoning Appeals. So we do encourage residents to submit their application to serve on the Board of Zoning Appeals. And with that, we do have a meeting. Our next meeting is 10 a.m., April 13th. We do not have a work session today, FYI, which is nice. Commissioner Giffens, you wanted to mention something about our little presser this week.
Yeah, on Monday, we got to celebrate the installation of a Naloxone vending machine in the lobby of the jail. I especially wanted to thank Sam Crow for making that possible. The first machine that they tried to put in was too big. It wouldn't fit through the door. So Sam didn't give up. He kept going and found one that would actually work. And it's very easy. You press a button and it distributes it. It's free for people. So that we want to make sure that folks know that it exists. There's actually a note on the front of it that suggests that you take 2 to 4 of the packets. This is the nasally delivered, I'm not sure how to say that, form of naloxone. And so it's available. There's even instructions for how to use it included in the little packets that are there. So we just want to make sure that folks know that it's available. Naloxone does save lives, and we're seeing an uptick sometimes in what's been going on over the last 2 years with with overdoses. And so we encourage people to get there and make use of this.
Yeah, be there, be prepared. And there are instructions inside each of the little baggies as well. So it's very easy to utilize. Did you have anything else you wanted to add, Commissioner Jones, on announcements?
No, I don't.
Okay, excellent. So with that, we are adjourned. Thanks, everyone. Thanks to Technical Services Department. We appreciate your hard work making this a smooth meeting. All right, with that, we're adjourned.